Hello fellow undead and welcome back to another Dark Souls 3 information video. Today we're going to be going in depth about each and every one of the starter classes in Dark Souls 3, so let's get right into it. We're going to start off by the Knight. The Knight's description says, an obscure knight of pure renown who collapsed roaming the land, sturdy owing to high vitality and stout armor. So as you can see the stats here on the right, vitality is going to be his highest stat with 15 points in vitality. However, strength and dexterity are going to be really evened out. He doesn't really have much strength or much dexterity. They're going to be quite even. And even intelligence and faith is going to have 9, which is quite equal out. So as you can see, all the stats are pretty standard on this class. Next up, we have the Mercenary. The Mercenary's description says, a mercenary and veteran of the battlefield. High dexterity allows masterful wielding of dual scimitars. So as we already knew before, there was going to be a dual wielding sort of character in Dark Souls 3. And this is going to be him. The Mercenary is going to be the blade sword master, or however you wish to call it. And as you can see, the dexterity is going to be the main highest stat for the Mercenary. We have 16 points in dexterity starting off. How the rest of the points are pretty evened out over the field. Strength, intelligence, vitality, all around 10 points. So next we're going to be moving on to the Warrior. So the description says, descendant of northern warriors famed for their brawn. Utilizes high strength to wield a heavy battle axe. So up until now, I always thought the Warrior was going to be the tank-like character, just because you can see how big he is. He seems like the tanky type character. However, it's going to be more of the Bandit off of Dark Souls 1, which is the strength-based character. As you can see, he has 16 points in the strength stat. And the rest of the field, again, is pretty evened out. He has vitality and endurance quite high. Next up, we have the Herald. The Herald's quite interesting, simply because we've never seen the Herald class in previous Souls titles before. So the description says, a former herald who journeyed to finish a quest undertaken. Wields a sturdy spear and employs a gentle, restorative miracle. So as you can see down here in the starter items, he does start with a miracle, which is obviously the heal. And he also has in his left hand item, a chime or a bell, whatever the item's going to be to use miracles in this game, as well as a spear and a shield. So as you can see here by the stats, apart from the faith, they all seem really evened out. He has 13 faith, which I'm guessing is just enough to use his miracle to heal. And the rest of the stats across the field, like I said, are really evened out on the Herald class. So next up we have the Thief. The description says, a common thief and a pitful deserter. Wields a dagger intended for backstabs alongside a military issue bow. So as we already supposed, his highest stats are going to be luck and dexterity. There's no really surprises here. This is pretty similar to the thieves in the previous game. Next up, we have the Assassin, which is also, alongside the Herald, the other new class that's going to be in Dark Souls 3, never seen before. And the description says, an assassin who stalks their prey from the shadows, favors sorceries in addition to thrusting swords. So it looks like it's going to be a mixture between a thief and a sorcerer to this point. As you can see here by the starting items, he does start off with a magic spell along as well as a staff and a sword and a mini shield. He has 14 dexterity and 11 intelligence. 11 intelligence is quite high, and obviously has 14 attunement slots just to be able to use the sorcery side of things. This is going to be quite an interesting class to use, I suppose. Next up, we have the Sorcerer, a loner who left former academy to pursue further research, commands soul sorceries using high intelligence. So no surprises here in the stats section. We have 16 in the intelligence, 12 in the dexterity, 16 attunement slots, and 12 luck. Those are the really higher ones of this class. He also starts off with 2 magic spells, as we can see. We don't exactly know which ones they're going to be, but I'm guessing one's going to be typical soul arrow, and the other one we'll just have to wait and see. Then we have the Pyromancer, a Pyromancer from remote region who manipulates flame. Also an adept close combat warrior who wields a hand axe. So this is going to be pretty much what it's always been, a mixture between a brute and a Pyromancer. So as you can see, he has 12 strength, which is kind of high, and then he has 14 intelligence and 14 faith. So again, no surprises here on the Pyromancer. Then we have another well-known character from previous Soul games, which is the Cleric, a traveling cleric who collapsed from exhaustion, channels high faith to cast many and varied miracles. 16 in the faith stat, and then we have 12 in the strength, 14 attunement slots, and 13 luck. That's really the only ones who will exceed. Then he has 2 miracles to begin with. I'm guessing one's going to be the heal, the other one may be the force knockback type attack. We don't know that yet, but that's just my best get. Would probably be that as a basic miracle at the start of the game. And then last but not least, well, maybe least in this case, we're going to have the Deprived, naked and of unknown origin, either an unfunnable fall of life or stripped of possessions upon burial. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of the information of the Dark Souls 3 starter classes. If you did, don't forget that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more Dark Souls 3 content on this channel. We'll see you next time.